Hello, hello, hello. It is 1:02 in the AM on September 26th. Another late night insomniac stream going on here. Can't sleep as usual. So I'm going to jump on here and see if anybody's awake. Want to join me for some late night chit chat? Sorry, I just had to adjust my arm there, so these are in the way a little bit. Bouncing around. Do you see a couple people hanging out in the bushes at least? Maybe you'll come in and have a chat. Oops. And I'm still not in position here. I swear I feel like I'm never going to get the hang of not knocking my head into things and having to readjust things once I'm on stream. Oh, biscuits and gravy, I'm jelly. So jealous. Biscuits and gravy are my husband's favorite thing to eat for breakfast. And I can't eat them, so I'm really reluctant to make them because, I can't enjoy them. Checking on the baby Lottle. So are they like infants and they have to be fed like every 2 hours? Yeah, when my husband wants biscuits and gravy, he either cheats and goes and buys, the pre-made biscuits and, just add water to a gravy packet, or we go out to breakfast. They poop a lot. How's the other poop maker tonight? Did she go to bed early? God, I still feel like I'm just not happy with where everything is sitting tonight. Why is everything wanting to knock me in the head? Nope, now it's sideways. Wrong way. Oh, and then kick me out of the studio. Well, if I keep having this kind of issues, I may just do some chatting instead of some stitching and some chatting at the same time. I am having a hell of a time right now. So, Shitstorm, where about do you live? Are you East Coast, West Coast, another country? See, and then that bar is right in my way. Let's try this way. Alright, you guys are getting the ADHD me tonight. Maybe I'll have better luck now. I doubt it. Oh, yeah, the one special guy. So you never did tell me, like, what makes him special. I could probably feel so much better if I could get my body onto some semblance of a sleep schedule, but for whatever reason, this round is kicking my butt. He can hold himself upright, which is kind of normal, but he's perpetually upside down. Thought he was dead at first, so I came in every now and then just to move. Gotcha. So is it just a normal state for them? I mean, are they like turtles and they have 100 at a time because the survival rate is so low? Can't hold himself upright. Okay, so I'm in Washington, so I'm northern United States. When you say up north, are you northern US or northern, farther north, like Canada? North of the US. Okay. Yeah, eventually I'll probably get, passports and stuff so that I can go out of the country again. There's one of my kids living a hop, skip, and a jump from Canada. We should probably get, passports. So when we go for a visit, we can actually go. Last time we went for a visit, we went to the park, right where the border crossing is. Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the park. Where you get to kind of walk, as you walk through the park, you're in Canada, but if you step outside the park, you're breaking the law. So I remember when we were there, I was joking about, what are they going to do to me if I put my toe on the road? Are they going to come and arrest me? Independence Park? Freedom Park? Oh, that's going to bug me. And it's really going to bug me because I can't even look it up because all of my devices are ocupado. Yeah, I didn't know if lottos were like other creatures. Well, I don't even know if if they give live birth or if they're egg birth or are they reptiles? Are they amphibians? I don't know. I don't know any of that, but definitely didn't know whether, like I said, like are they like turtles and that their survival rate is so low that they have a ton of them. So yeah, it'd be interesting for you to give me some education on them. When you showed me the pictures of the video of the baby lottos, I didn't think that those videos were of your house. But at the same time, it doesn't really surprise me either. Are you going to be able to get any sleep tonight, sis? P- Peace Arch? That sounds right. North of Blaine. I think that's right because um, there is a huge arch there that you can go walk through, which is really cool. It echoes. People that got singing voices. It probably sounds awesome in there. Yeah, it was a cute little park. There was like this. I think they're called spires. Like what is that? Oh, good lord! See, testing my history too. Um, like an obelisk shape, and on one side it's like right on the border. So on one side it's you're in the U.S. and on you walk to the other side of it 90 degrees and you're in Canada. I made the people at the resort laugh because I was like, look, I can see Canada right there. Do you think I could swim? Would they ask for my passport if I was soaked in water? People at the restaurant didn't think it was very funny. Not that I could anyway. I'm not that great of a swimmer. But I imagine that water is really, 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 really freaking cold. Well, I don't imagine it is. I mean, it was cold at the beach, right? Right there at the resort. So I can only imagine that it gets colder and colder and colder and colder as you go further out into open water. Not to mention, I have no idea what kind of sea creatures live north of the United States. Like, are there sharks out there? Are there jellyfish? Well, probably not jellyfish. It's probably too cold for jellyfish. But like, what kind of dangerous things live out there? Oh, that's cool. And that's why you don't impulsively go to those like reptile shows, because you end up impulsively buying things. So they do come from eggs then? I agree. No one really has, and most people don't get my sense of humor. I mean, unless they've spent a lot of time with me, most people don't. They just think I'm, whatever. Oh, so do you get to use it as a tax write-off then, since technically he was on the job? You could write off your meals and all of that if it was technically for work. People not getting my sense of humor is why I wanted to be a corrections officer for a long time, because I thought, where else am I going to be able to work where I can cuss like a sailor and tell snarky, nasty, dirty jokes without being somebody looking down their nose at me because, how dare a female talk like that? But nature had other plans for me. Well, no, sis, what I'm saying is the whole trip, since you guys went up there for, wait, you said the zoo. Your zoo or work zoo? Now that I'm thinking about that. Because if you went up there on behalf of the work zoo, then the whole trip could be used as a tax write off. Your gas, food while you were up there, any, expenditures that you guys put out. Well, you are my child, so I would expect no less that your sense of humor would get you in trouble. In fact, if you didn't get in trouble because of your sense of humor, I'd question whether you were actually my child. It's between your dad and I, there's plenty to get you in trouble. Yeah, so if he went to represent work, then technically it was a work trip. So any money that you guys spent, like I said, on gas, if you guys had stayed in a hotel, that would have been a tax write off. Um, but at the same time, you guys don't do a lot of that. So it might not be worth it anyway, unless it's going to start becoming a regular thing. Because I think your guys' standard deduction is always going to better. I mean, moving forward, you always will have to weigh that out anyway, because you have to figure out each year whether what you're paying on the house, and if you start paying student loans or anything like that, whether your expenses make itemizing more beneficial than doing standard deduction. Your zoo, your personal zoo, your guys' personal zoo. I don't know that you need more critters. I'm really bummed because I told you that I ordered a new microphone. Because I've been told that the one on my laptop is crackly. I was so excited. It came in the mail on Saturday. Your daughter was so happy to open the box for me and dropped it. Luckily, it was wrapped very well in a lot of styrofoam, but got it open and realized that in all of my shopping, somehow or another, I started searching for Bluetooth microphones, and I ended up purchasing a wireless microphone, which has a receiver, and it's a 6.35 millimeter male receiver. So now I have to buy an adapter to plug it into my computer. But I carried it into your dad, and I said, "So I have a really stupid question, and then a legit question." And he goes, "What?" And I hold the piece up in the air, and I go, "This is the male piece, right?" And he just kind of looks at me and I go, "I kind of figured, because it's a pokey and not it's an outie, not an innie." And he kind of laughs, and I go, "And second question, legit question, do we have an adapter?" And he's like, "No." Of a Mini Critters channel. Yeah. Likes opening things and almost always drops them. Yeah, I kind of experienced that this weekend. So I will do it. Drop. Helping me unload the grocery cart. Drop. I'm like, oh. So needless to say, the adapter for my new microphone should be here on Tuesday, which would be nice. I'm definitely going to have to buy some more airtime on StreamYard for this month, so that I can have a play, because my StreamYard doesn't renew until the 8th. And I think I have like 3 hours or something left. Yes, she does try. And overall, she is a very good helper. She's just an excited little helper. And a very demanding and independent little helper. And emptying the cart at the grocery store, she dropped her apple slices, her dried apple chips. She dropped her half-gallon of juice. And then when she dropped the bag of candy, she just kind of looked at me and went, "Okay, I done. No more." I'm like, okay. No. Has she swept for me? I have a shark. I don't own a broom anymore. I let my shark do all the work. All we have is that crappy broom that was here when we moved in. Oh no, I take that back. We do have a little one that we bought. I forgot about that. But no, she hasn't swept. She even got away with not cleaning up after herself this time because we just wanted to, get out the door and get her home. That's my chair. I swear. I swear. By the moon and the stars in the sky. Or something like that anyway. Yeah, she's 4.5, almost 5, and quite independent. But it seems like she's also very much learning her own limits. And so, like I said, after the third thing she dropped in the store, she was like, okay, I'm done. I should probably not be trying to help. Let me tell you, she didn't forget that there was candy that we bought at the grocery store. Okay, well, good. This Wednesday, I'm actually going to be starting a journal from scratch. So this Wednesday, I'll be making the signatures, which is the pages that are on the inside, and how you attach those to the hidden spine. So you'll get to kind of see that from the beginning. I'm glad you're enjoying them, though. Yeah, for a 5-year-old, she definitely loves her chores. It's great. I like that, but only other people's chores. Oh, don't forget, she has to help you go to the bathroom. Yeah, the last 2 weeks, I made the cover for my personal journal. Um, that I made the innards of it, the guts of it, probably a year ago, and I've just been dragging and dragging and dragging on making the cover. So I thought I'll just make the cover, get it done, get it out of the way, and then only 4 squares. Yeah, 4 squares. Squares. Only 4 squares toilet paper, Grandma. Only 4. Yeah, the fabric one, and I think it was really cool. It was a good find. It was a um, a table runner that I found at the secondhand store. I have to make a small journal because I really like the fabric too, but I cut it wrong the first time. So in order to not waste the fabric, I've got to make a small journal, but that's okay. It's just a matter of cutting the paper to different sizes. So do you do any kind of crafty stuff, Storms? My crafts give me life. No, in reality, they probably keep me alive. Yeah, secondhand stores, I swear by them, especially. I mean, and that's, I mean, the true movement behind junk journaling literally is about reducing, reusing, recycling. Um, so, buying stuff from a secondhand store and repurposing it, is a big part of that in the true sense of the movement. Um, as well as using, whatever you can find around the house, random bits and bobs and, cardboard boxes and oatmeal packages and mail envelopes, whatever your mind can, allow to happen. The one with the pretty black fabric. Oh, with the black and the red with the cross stitch on the front. With the what was it, the black, red, and white ribbon around it. Yeah, that was the one I made for Jen. I still have some of that fabric here. I think I have enough to make one more journal out of. I think. I steal. Possibly. Not like I don't have enough fabric to go around. I got a metric ton of it, I think. I traded off all my yarn and now I'm full of fabric. Oh, absolutely. The things that we can make from home, and I'm kind of I'd hate to call myself a hoarder, but in a way, yeah. Like, I have a really hard time throwing things away if there's even a possible use for it. Um, so, like, even when I'm doing the journaling and stuff, I save like the smallest little pieces of paper because eventually it'll work for something. And I end up with these mad stashes of just stuff everywhere. Um, but yeah, my personal journal, I like them very crazy and chaotic. Papers of different sizes, different textures, different colors, different materials, and so mine are kind of crazy. Pack rats unite. Whoop, whoop. Insomniac pack rats. We could do some damage in a store. They'd let us go in there at night. I'm almost to a point where I'm gonna have to move my hoop. Like this whole section over here is all one color for like way out here on the fabric. And so I don't want to start them and then run into my hoop. I got all this down here to do still. So I don't want to quite move my hoop yet, but I'm getting there. Yep. Clothes are a good way to get fabrics for the junk journaling too. Um, oh, morning, Sophie. Um, yeah, when I say, I mean, when I say I have a metric ton of fabric, I'm kidding, but almost not kidding. But yeah, old Levi's make really cool like clusters. They make good journal covers, t-shirts, dresses. Buy a wedding dress and you've got lace for days. Um, shawls, scarves, all that kind of stuff. Just disassemble it, and you've got fabric. Um, Curtains are another valuable resource that a lot of people don't think about. Um, there's some really neat curtain fabrics out there that are easy enough to cut down and use. the garbage bag full of clothes in the garage agrees. Yeah. If I could get to the stuff out in my garage, there's probably some stuff full of clothes out there. I would almost guarantee it. Yeah. It's amazing how much fabric you can get from a curtain. And if it's a really nice curtain and you sew, you could actually make, a skirt out of it or something if it's really nice fabric. So, Sophie, when do you think you'll be back up and running lives again? Yeah, that you got the new pooter. Oh, I guess that word means something different to me. A new computer. Absolutely. And the other benefit to having kids' clothes is that you can follow that pattern and make teddy bears out of them, and then it's a double win. Woohoo! Yeah, you were just getting rolling on the Sunday talks, and then crash. I bet just about everybody that does this stuff, kind of, does live streaming, has some sort of tick that they've discovered when they started it. For me, whenever I'm live streaming, my nose starts itching like a freaking banshee. Like, yep, on the pooter. Yeah, the diamond painting. That's my Tuesday streams. Um, it's from my experience. It's kind of like with the cross stitching that you'll either love it or you'll hate it. I haven't really found anybody that's in between. They either try it and really, really love it, or they try it and they really, really hate it. Just depends on how your brain works and how. Oh, there goes my nose again. Um, are you the type of person that thrives in that minute detail of stuff? Oh, the deer head, that's awesome. It's funny because when I was a kid, I did macrame all the time, and that was back in the day when my mother was actually involved with us as a family, and we had ceramics classes and macrame classes, and it seemed like every day of the week we were going to some friend's house to do something. Uh, but yeah, I haven't done macrame in a long time. Yeah, I get all of my diamond painting kits. I get them from, well, I got them all. Let me rephrase that. I got them all from Wish. Um, So they're not as expensive as they would have been had I bought them at like Craft Warehouse or something, or Hobby Lobby. Um, but even then, I mean, the one that I'm working on right now, all your kids came from AliExpress. I love it. Nice little Freudian slip there. I, I purchased mine on AliExpress. That's funny. But yeah, the one I'm working on right now is the 5 panel piece, and I think I spent, been a long time ago, but I probably spent 60, maybe $80 on it. Look into, is this what you're talking about, Storms? Well, Sophie, it seems like I do recall that just a couple weeks ago I was having a conversation with you, and your response to me was, remember, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. For sure. For sure. Yeah, Wish and AliExpress are both out of China. Um, you're going to pay, once upon a time, it was almost guaranteed that you were going to pay less for the same kit if you ordered it from Wish or from AliExpress, because the shipping was so much that you paid less for the item, and then shipping wasn't a lot. But due to shipping embargoes that were put into place with our last president, and then shipping issues with the current president, shipping prices on things coming out of China have gone through the roof. Um, so sometimes it's not as cost effective um, to order from Wish or from AliExpress anymore. Um, and what I found too is a lot of times I'll find something on Amazon that is also on Wish, but when I look down and I look at the store that it's coming from China anyway. So I'm like, well, and if I order it from Amazon, it'll take just as much time to get to Amazon, and then another week or two to get to me for Amazon to send it to me. So I'm like, if I got to wait all that time regardless, I'm going to spend less. I'm going to spend less money on it. Yeah, the starter DPs, um, the smaller they are, the less detailed they are. Um, so when you're picking a picture, so I know that said she has one, but Sophie, if you start going and shopping around, the more detailed your picture is, the bigger you're going to want it to be, because your diamond paintings are 10 beads per inch. So if you have a super, super detailed picture, but you get it in a small, it's going to be very pixelated. A huge one, cabin in the mountains. Oh, must be nice. I would love to live in a cabin in the mountains. Yeah, and I agree with that too. If you've never done one before and you're not sure you're going to like it, I would definitely say try to find one of the cheap ones, maybe even like maybe in a kids department. I know Amazon has some little kids ones, just to make sure you're going to like it before you put a huge investment in it. Mine is what I think is orchids. Again, it's been like 2 years since I bought it, so can't remember, but I think they're orchids. Yeah, so you don't like the partials. Do you prefer round or square? Talking about diamond painting while I'm cross stitching. Oh well. It's essentially the same hobby in reality. Oh, my neck is popping. Yeah, I used to buy the little. Do you remember Once Upon a Time, sis? Wish used to sell them for like $1 a piece. The little small partials. Those were the ones I always bought for clients, so that they could try it out and see if they liked it before, they spent money on one. But they don't even do those anymore. Oh no, they have square. They have square diamonds too. Now you're gonna be like looking. I can see you now going in, pulling that deer one out, going, are they round? Are they square? Are they round or are they square? Yeah, your dragon's a little more cooperative than mine. Squares are the shiznit. There's pluses and minuses to both. Like we were talking about before. The round ones work up really quick, and they don't require quite as much precision as squares do, but you don't get the click. You don't get the little click with the squares. I mean, with the circles, with the rounds. Um, and with the squares, if you're OCD, you might struggle a little. I was gonna say, what's everybody doing? Well, I'm like, well, I think Sophie's like 3 hours ahead of me. Right, Sophie? You're like 4:50. It makes me wonder if the square ones are not available up north. That might be so. I don't know. I never really thought about that. Um. Oh no, but I did see your count. You're at 481. That's awesome. But no, I meant your time. You're like 3 hours ahead of me. I think it's like 4:52. I know she's almost got her community tab. That's so exciting. I wish I had one already. I'm like frothing at the bit because I'm like, oh, if I only had a community tab. Oh, if only I had a community tab. Yeah, I was pretty sure you were 3 hours ahead of me. All you East Coasters. But then you give us West Coasters that can't sleep something to do. Gives us people to talk to when we can't sleep. Yeah, maybe. I haven't bought one in a long time. I said I bought, well, I take that back. Because I bought the one that I'm working on like maybe even 2.5 years ago. And then I discovered the junk journaling and kind of, um, it kind of went to the wayside a lot. I was like, because it takes up so much room for me to work on my easel that it's like to take it down and put it back up is a pain in the butt. Um, Sophie ain't going nowhere. Not if I have anything to say about it. She's got a good message to put out there. We're not letting her go nowhere. But yeah, even though I wasn't doing I wasn't doing the diamond painting, still didn't stop me from buying them. It's kind of like, oh, I hate wearing shoes, but I'm going to keep buying them. So I got a couple other kits kind of hanging in the wings, just waiting for me to finish. One I bought with the intention of it being up in my office, um, that I no longer have because I'm not working anymore. And the other one will go up in my husband's office because he's a Tom and Jerry fan, or as my granddaughter calls it, cat mouse. And it's in true Tom and Jerry fashion, and Jerry is getting, or Tom is getting nut checked with a 2x4 by Jerry. Um, so yeah, he'll have that to hang up in his office when I get around to doing it. You guys get to watch that one come together too. That little mini. We do fight for people. We fight for sanity over here. I know, and I may jump on the Tom and Jerry one. There was, I think there was four. It was a series. I want to say there was four of them. So I don't know. I may go back in and order the full set. I haven't decided yet. How much more of my shit you planning on taking? Must you like raid my house every time you come? I'm kidding. That's what kids are for, right? All of the shit. Truth be told, if my dad was still alive, and I would probably be still going to his house and raiding his house too. And that's where we would be going every Sunday morning for bacon or for biscuits and gravy. Mama's Diner is a close second, but my dad made the best biscuits and gravy. I'd be rolling up on his front door every weekend. Including the cheese and the almond butter and the Mike's Hard Lemonade and the coffee and the candy bars and the crochet hooks. I don't know. Probably not a whole lot of places. I suppose there might be some specialty shop out there somewhere. Maybe. Bar- bartering without permission. When have you returned stuff other than your child? It seems that that's the biggest bartering chip. I have not posted them on my IG. I really haven't used my IG a whole lot. I haven't had an IG for very long, in all reality. Um, but taking some time off of YouTube today, I was able to go through and find some, some inspirational, motivational, thought provoking things to post on my IG today, and I'll definitely gonna try to get better at using like when I have my scheduled streams to actually post them to my IG, as well as to my TikTok, since I do have people that follow me on those platforms that are not on YouTube, or I'm not connected to on YouTube. Um, but definitely publishing to those platforms can kind of connect all of that together. Yeah, yeah. But you got it for me for Mother's Day, so does that really count? Yeah, this right here. Uh huh. I could pan. Hey, I will say you did help me clean my craft room this last visit, so that's cool. I'm very grateful for that. Got me organized. My cabinet for my lace came in today when we got back from dropping Minnie off. I'm like, ooh, who delivers on a Sunday? That was awesome. Granted, it was supposed to be delivered on Thursday, and it was kind of funny. I looked at my husband and I'm like, it's going on a trip around the country. Um, which is funny because I was having this conversation. I think it was this morning on our way to bring. No, where were we going? I have not done a video of the craft room yet. Um, it's in the plans. Um, I was telling your dad, I'm like, that poor cabinet, it left. I ordered it from a company in Arizona, and it went from Arizona to Georgia. And keep in mind, I live in Washington, so why it went from Arizona to Georgia? Don't know. Went from Georgia to Kent, Washington, which is only like, I don't know, a couple hours to, the west of me. Was supposed to have been delivered on Thursday. Thursday, I get a notice telling me it's quote unquote running late. And then Friday, I get a notice that it's in Oregon. I'm like, what the hell, what the hell is going on? It's like, how many wrong trucks can this poor thing end up on? Good morning, Lulu. Yeah, I mean, I think my craft room has been somewhat organized all along. It was just very, like a bomb blew off in here. So while I kind of sort of knew where everything was, it wasn't real functional. Is that a word? No, it was not real functional, because every time I tried to move, something would fall, or I would trip over something, or I'm running something over with my chair. Not because I didn't have a place to put things, but because I'm horrible at putting things away. So this actually doing these videos for the live streams actually is helping me, because in order to do one, I have to put the other away, because I only have one workspace, one recording space. So when I move from one project to the next, I have to clean up after the last one. So it's kind of helping me. Yes, you could. And the key word there is trying to clean and organize. It's more like move from one corner to the next and go in a circle, and in another circle, and in another circle, and in another circle, until you end up right back where you started, and you're still sitting there looking, going, crap, I don't think I got anywhere. And I agree. It has to be genetic. Because, girl, if Grandpa hadn't passed before you were born, you would absolutely, without a doubt, 1,000,000% know where I get it from. Well, in all fairness, you did sacrifice a big chunk of your work room to the other child so that she could have her own crafting space. I don't have that excuse. I have this entire space to myself, and it's an entire room. I mean, granted, it's an entire room that encompasses 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 different hobbies. Know where to put the pandas. Yeah. You're so funny. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to figure out where to make room for that $7,000 craft organizer that I want. You're trying to figure out where to put the panda shelf. Well, in my experience, Storms, the dining rooms tend to have better lighting anyway. I don't know if I missed it. Other than diamond painting, do you do any other crafts, Storms? Yeah, I'm in a bedroom, and so I have my overhead light, but I have a ring light, a little mini ring light right here. Um, and holy moly, the little thing puts out a lot of heat. Okay, done them all. Yeah, I've probably filtered through, well, not all. I've tried to knit, and I really suck at it, so knitting was not my jam. Crocheted, which I gave up because I kept losing feeling in my hands. Sewing, I do have a sewing machine that I bought specifically so I could sew paper. In fact, if I tried to sew fabric, it would freak out and like catch fire or something. Um, Cross stitch, diamond painting. I used to do a lot of puzzles. I don't know if that's not really a craft, but it's a hobby. Um, Plastic canvas. See, and I keep finding that I'm forgetting about the plastic canvas, and it's probably because it's been like 7 years since I've done it, so I keep forgetting about it that I ever did it. Um, yeah, I don't know, a little bit of everything. Yeah, you hate being on camera. I know. Is that old saying growing up? Tough titty set the kitty. Dinged it. I ended my thread and I found one extra stitch. And I gotta try to thread this tiny little piece of thread. And I think, at least from my perspective, sis, I think you and I, being on camera is about the same thing. It's bordering on a self esteem thing. I mean, I have never liked the way I look ever. Um, in between all the medical stuff and then age and everything else, I'm constantly not happy with the way I look. Um, and so, yeah, I don't really like being on camera either, but I'm forcing myself to do it more often than not. I haven't really hit the camera button in a while, simply because um, with everything. Hold on, I got to count. One, two, three, then up one. Um, with all the congestion and everything, I'm like, my eyes are like really, my whole face is puffy, really. Cute little jars. Yeah. You can do a lot of stuff with plastic canvas. A titty streamer? Oh, okay, I was wondering if you misspelled that, but no, I should call it a cleavage streamer. Okay, you've definitely got cleavage. I mean, you could pull that off. Suddenly, my computer wants to open my email and send me 5,000 notifications of emails. It's like I've been on here for an hour and a half, and it's just now going, oh, You're online? Here, let me bombard you with your email. Hey, you could carve out your own niche, though, and wear your 50s dresses while you're gaming. You might be able to find find a special following. Wait. What? Hey, girl, I passed a class in high school by lowering my neckline. No shame in my game. It's a magnetic measuring tape in Hobby Lobby that counts the cross-stitch squares. No, I didn't know there was such a thing. Hmm. I haven't even told my husband about the $70 toy that I bought last month. Well, you got all the dresses. Dang it. I had a bad feeling that was going to happen. Thank you. Got a flip. And threaded my needle on the back of my fabric. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that. That sounds. I'm saying for people that cross stitch and diamond paint, like I was saying before, a diamond painting is just 10 count Ada, and it's all DMC colors. So any diamond painting pattern you have can be converted into a cross stitch. You're the dark elf, huh? I don't know. Play around. You never know. Like I said, I mean, might just find your own little niche in the gaming community. And if all else fails, go to OnlyFans. I'm kidding. Yeah, I could see you trying to do feet pics. You'd be like vomiting while trying to take pictures of your own feet. Oh my gosh, I know. Or it used to go, or even when it would go on sale and you could go in and get, like 5 for $1. And now it's like 53 cents a piece. And when it goes on sale, it's like, oh, it's 50 cents a piece. Yay, I saved 3 cents. Thanks. I know some people are into feet and vomit. Yeah, I agree. I, I don't know. I was gonna say if you've got a way to make money that doesn't harm anybody, go for it. But that brings up the whole ethical question: is it truly harmless? Is it truly victimless? Yeah, 80 cents. I was going to ask what prices are up there. I hardly ever buy it new anymore unless I'm in the middle of a project and I've run out, because I tend to do like secondhand store or marketplace purchases a lot. So I end up with like these massive stashes. Um, and then so I'll start a project and then I'm like, oh, my stash is empty. And then I have to go buy a skein of something. But at that point, I don't even pay attention to the price, simply because, I mean, I look at it like toilet paper. I need it regardless of how much it costs. So the price is irrelevant. Although my husband would disagree, I'm sure, that I need it. But I could argue that I do, especially if I'm already in the middle of a project. I kind of do need it because we're not going to not finish something. But yeah, I want to say that the last ones I went and purchased, I want to say they were like 63 cents a piece. Nothing is inexpensive anymore. Oh my goodness. So, ADD meter is overclocked. You have toilet paper in your trunk. That's a good place for it to be. On the ADD stuff, well, squirrel. That was always me at my job. Be like in the middle of something and I'd be sitting in my office minding my own business, and somebody would just walk by my office door and go, "Hey, Laura, squirrel!" And I'm like, "Yep." I'm like, "And you have no idea how you just squirreled me just by doing that." Interesting tactic. Does it work on the husband too? Oh, well, that doesn't mean anything. He's got the memory of a pea. Forget it's out there before you even got home, half the time. And the priority stash. I didn't notice a shortage when I was there earlier, but I also didn't really like search your bathroom. They'd have to because, there was toilet paper on the roll. Stop peeking at the Christmas gifts. Oh, well, yeah. We're about to have to break into it then. The things we do to trick our children. Of course, I wonder how many of those tricks you actually remember from your childhood, or how many you haven't figured out yet. Oh yeah, Minnie getting toilet paper rolls for Christmas. She would be happy as a clam. Okay, thank you. All for me? That's my toilet paper. Well, I could see the temper tantrums that would ensue from that, though, because you guys be trying to use her toilet paper, and that would not go over well. She'd be making you say please. Alcoholic Oreos. Oh, yep, alcoholic Oreos. What was it today that you told her was alcoholic? Oh, the pumpkin seeds, right? Well, my dad told me when I was growing up that the reason I was left handed, because I'm the only lefty in my family for 3 generations behind me, and he always told me that the reason I was left handed was because I was born backwards. I was a breech baby. And, he's my dad. Why would he lie to me? So I believed him. And he died when I was 13. And but it wasn't until like my first like true health class that we're learning about all of the genetics and like how you end up with green eyes versus blue eyes and all of this stuff that I figured out that he would lie to me that whole time. I was like, oh my god, that's not why I'm left-handed. Yeah, spicy. Well, she is spicy, so she's neuro spicy. Yeah, my biology teacher got a kick out of that when I was like right in the middle of class, it dawned on me that that was not true. And that is not why I'm left-handed. That's true. She hates that. Science. Why is it? Because science. Well, and the really funny thing is that the true answer to her question is actually science. But shh, don't tell her that. I don't think growing up we ever actually just like totally flat out lied to you guys. That's why you got the Santa Claus talk early, because how are we supposed to be teaching our kids not to lie to us if we lie to them every year? We just omitted a lot of stuff. I hear the semantics police in my head. Lying by omission is still lying. Exactly. Ouch. Oh, my goodness. I just thumped my head on my ring light. I'm definitely going to have to purchase some StreamYard. Should just bite the bullet. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just rock your world, Storms? So, I mean, I know one of the biggest, some of the big advantages to the paid version is being able to do like overlays and, different backgrounds and that kind of stuff. Um, and obviously not limited to the 20 hours a month stream time. But are there other benefits that I'm missing? So, I mean, like right now, while things are still just kind of developing, I'm not super concerned about the fluffy stuff. besides that giving me more things to learn. See, like right now it's asking me, do you want to hide that last comment? Give me a minute, StreamYard. Yeah, with the free version, I can have 6 on panel. So for like with me right now, I've got 2 taken up, so I could have 4 people up on panel with me with the free version. Getting cookies. Your computer probably does get cookies every time you stream. Just saying. Yeah, we can craft together. And so when I did my I did my regular Tuesday diamond painting stream last week, but I did a couple extra random ones. And I had Sis up on camera with me working on hers at the same time. And that's kind of my, I guess in a way, my goal, at least on these crafting streams, is to have, people that are doing the same kind of craft, come up, be up on camera, and we can learn from each other and, teach new skills to each other, but also to, people watching that maybe haven't started yet and don't know how. And I'm wondering that too, because like I was saying, I literally just like not even a week ago had gone on to StreamYard because I was going to upgrade for that very reason, so that I can have at least somebody up on panel with me. And I went in and I'm like, 6? Where did I see? In my brain said 2. And I'm like, did it literally take less than 24 hours for me starting my StreamYard account to completely fabricating this whole other narrative in my head? I'm like, and then I'm like, or did it change? And they didn't notify us. Dirty ass. Look. Yeah, Tuesday diamond date. Play date for crafters. Yeah, I get where you're coming from for sure. Things are less than friendly. Well, and I think it's going to be about content as much as anything else. If you're, I guess, picking and choosing what panels you decide to go up on. I chose to go up on a panel and it came back and hit me in the butt. So I'll be more selective in the future, for sure. I did. Sophie was actually the first person I ever took panel with. That was really cool. I enjoyed that. Exactly. Just got to decide what's worth it. That's why I'm over here riding in my own lane. This is where I'm going to stay. That other place can implode without me. I know. I really like Sophie. That is it. And I think she's got an absolutely valuable message. And I feel like her voice was silenced a lot. Her message, and her message was hushed. So I'm excited to see her getting her new computer up and running and getting back up to streaming and doing her thing and riding her own lane. And making her mark on the recovery world. Well, thank you. And I'm always open for suggestions if there's, things that, you want to see or you want to talk about. Just let me know. Tomorrow I'm going to probably pre-record. Well, I guess it'll depend on if I decide to just buck it up and pay for StreamYard. If not, then I'll pre-record my video on anxiety and panic attacks, since I didn't do it on Friday because I had a wee one here keeping my attention. But it's just kind of a follow-up to last week's mental health Monday. I do find that these crafting streams are a lot easier to do. Like, even if nobody comes in, because I'm stitching anyway. And so since I have also found a channel that offers copyright-free music, if nobody's in chat, I can just turn the music on and have the music playing while I stitch. How to spot a narc? What do you mean? Narcs are welcome too. They have a love of crafting anyway. Oh. Are you over peeping Sophie's channel? Now, that was her stream. It's the one I'm thinking of, is how to spot a conversational. No, good Lord, conversational narcissist. Say that fast 3 times. Yeah, go sub to her. She's almost got it. She's almost over 500 and get her community tab. I will say though, you probably you the oof, my foot just fell in a bucket under my craft table. The irony of, you shortening the narcissist to a narc. That's why I was confused. For sure. Faux show, faux show. How about faux shizzle, my nizzle? Or am I too old to say that? Well, I was going to post something on my IG today um, that basically said, you know, well, it may not be about you. And then it had a picture of like Cinderella with the glass slipper, and it said, but if the shoe fits. But I figured what I was posting was already hitting a personal nerve with a few people today. So I opted not to. Bomb.com. That was so crazy because I watched a stream earlier tonight, and 24, it just hit 24.3 subs, or K, 24.3K subs. And I was like, holy crap, how do you even manage a channel that size? Well, and in reality, I mean, narcissists are everywhere. And I said that day that Sophie streamed that, is like, they're very, very prominent in the business world, um, very prominent in therapy realm. A lot of therapists, mental health therapists, uh, are very narcissistic, but especially in the business world. And I think that social media in and of itself has spawned its own offshoot in a way of narcissism, you know, aka the keyboard warriors, the keyboard attorneys. Everybody's got a powerful voice because they're behind a computer screen and nobody can really challenge them effectively. But I definitely think that the lockdown of the pandemic really has brought the worst out in people and really shined a light on narcissism specifically. Yeah, exactly. Well, and yeah, and if I had posted that, it specifically would have been for that exact, because that would have been driving the point home. Is like, just because I'm posting something doesn't mean it's about you. But if you think it's about you, then maybe look in the mirror. I just have to go with a grain of salt too, because I have to keep in mind and remember that people that follow me on IG or follow me on YouTube have not followed me on Facebook to know that that's what I do on my Facebook too, is post sayings and memes and stuff like that to just kind of get people thinking, you know, think about actions, think about behaviors, think about the day, think about the beauty of the world, put things into perspective. And my IG has just become another platform for me to share that same sentiment. But people want to take it personal. That's their shit, not my shit. Although I do appreciate the irony that shitstorm is saying we have enough shitstorms. Sorry, I was counting, so I wasn't reading. Give me just a sec. BPT tends to gravitate to narcissists because their overinflated sense of self counteracts. Absolutely. They develop a very codependent relationship. I have heard that as well. In fact, I never did finish that video that we started when you were here. That was that ADHD or trauma voices or something like that. I'll have to look it up again because I never did go back and finish it once Minnie went to sleep. Hi, Stephanie. Yep, another late night. Interesting. And I've come across a few things that I've got to do some research on. Like somebody had mentioned during my ADHD stream that her doctor told her that 2 a.m. is the normal bedtime for people with ADHD. And I was like, what? I'll have to do some research on that because that's my circadian rhythm, 2 to 10. Normally, and when I'm fighting insomnia, if I don't get to bed by my normal 2 a.m., I don't get to sleep, which is kind of where I'm at still. I think I'm on week 3 with this jacked up sleep schedule, 3 or 4. Normally it's reset itself by now, and it's not resetting this time around. Yeah, something to that effect. Yeah, so I mean things like that come up and I'm like, huh, I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm gonna have to check into that. I'm gonna do some reading. Stephanie, how's your project going? I've almost got the corner done and get to move my hoop soon. Yeah, so it makes me wonder, based off of that, the comment, whether, I mean, does that mean people with ADHD naturally have a circadian rhythm disorder? Or was a circadian rhythm disorder, was that developed because of a commonality between all ADHD people having a similar rhythm? What's the connection? Yeah, I remember being like that too, Stephanie. Sundays were always hard. And I think for me it was, because I would push myself to stay awake on Fridays and Saturdays to just try to get stuff done that I didn't get done during the week. And then I would push beyond where my body would naturally want to go to sleep, and then I wouldn't be able to get to sleep after that. Yeah, exactly. Just why the brain goes brain when you don't get sleep. Working in the bottom. I've never tried the Q snaps. I've done obviously the hoops. Um, I've got and I do like using scroll frames, which I don't know. I've contemplated switching to the scroll frame when it's time for me to move this, but I don't know. I don't know how functional it'll be on my tiny little table here. What I'm doing, if I can get my stupid camera in place and not bang my head on stuff, this setup seems to be working. So, why mess with something that's not broke, or however that saying goes? Miss Sophie, are you working on anything? She's working on getting her computer working again, or getting her new computer working. When you jolt yourself awake from the edge of sleep, it's because your body shut down too fast and your brain thought you died. We've talked about that before. You and I have, anyway. Yeah, and fun fact, I just recently discovered that I twitch in my sleep, like, a lot. Um, I had no idea. And I mentioned it to my husband after my best friend said something to me about it. And because, we shared a camper over Fair Week, but she's like, "Hey, did you know?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, so I tell my husband, he goes, "Yeah, I know. I have to watch the elbows at night." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, don't you think I should have known that so I could have told my doctor?" I'm like, "How long has that been happening?" I had no idea. And now I notice it all the time. You're freaking people out. The things that keep me up at night. Uh-huh. other than a mini monster. And an octopus in a bubble. And a 6-foot rabbit. If you only see 2 crows, it's an attempted murder. Yes. See, I wonder, because I know that's one of those big buzzwords for YouTube when you're monetized. But a bug just tried to fly up my nose. If you used it in that context, if YouTube would still have a freak out. That was the tiniest little black thing. I don't know what it was. It tried to fly up my nose. It's because my nose is right by my ring light. It's been really interesting for me to going into weird shit. Other communities on YouTube is how different the quote unquote rules are from one community to the next. Like in one community, you're praised for reporting TOS violations and, striking channels and so forth. And then in other communities, it's like you're shunned from everybody if you do that. There's communities that are all about monetization and other ones that really could care less about making a penny and just, do what they're going to do. So I don't know. It's been kind of interesting for me to spend some time in other communities and seeing the difference in how the community itself interacts with within itself. That totally did not make sense. Made sense in my mind. I know macrame. I'm kind of excited. I don't know if I'll join along, but I definitely like watching. In reality, I'd probably sit here and cross stitch while I'm watching. Like have you up on the big screen and have a movie on something else and have music playing on my phone, and because ADHD. I would say yes. I have ventured into 2 other community types, and I could literally rename their players into our community, into this community. I can identify the same character traits. So it's been an interesting social experiment for me as well. Being like, okay, maybe this is just YouTube, I think. It is the great social experiment where people who normally would never come together, would never hang out together, would never talk to each other, come together in this great chasm that is YouTube, and the personalities interact and clash, you know. I know, I'm so excited for Sophie to get her channel back up and running. Yeah, I agree, Storm. I think it is very weird, especially like I said, to step outside, and go somewhere else and to experience the exact same thing with just different characters, different names. Um, I mean, I'm a psychology buff. I love the human brain. I like delving into like human behavior and development and what makes, and all of that is kind of like, that's my, I was picturing George Burns in my head where he does the little thing with his hands. Um, so like I said, it's been interesting to look at it from that standpoint as a like a sociology experiment. And it's like I get my conspiracy brain goes, okay, does YouTube plan it this way? Did they set themselves up to create these microcosms of human behavior? And I'd like to be like, oh no, YouTube couldn't. They can't be like that. It's not like they're God or anything. They can't create worlds of their own, but maybe they can. And that, my friends, are the things that keep me up at night. How much do Facebook and YouTube talk to each other? How come I can do a Google search and Facebook knows what I looked for? That kind of stuff. I feel you, Stephanie. I got some lots of cross stitch projects hanging in the wings. I've got the bluey stitch along that, started like 2 months ago. And I'm like, oh, I will stitch that eventually. But like I said, at the beginning of the year, I committed to finishing these kits out before I did anything else. The Titanic never sank. See, but yeah, is YouTube in actuality, are they experimenting on us? Are we, you think about that scene in Men in Black where he opens up the door and you know, they are being watched by a greater world. It's like, are we this big social experiment that YouTube is putting on? The mocking baskets. How dare they mock you? Tell them to shut up, mind their own business. Mind their own business, or you're going to give them what for. Slap them baskets into submission, right? Can't wait till I can get my new microphone hooked up. I'm so excited. Like a kid in a candy store, get all this new stuff. Like, is this my life now? Being excited to get equipment instead of craft supplies. So you got to say it in some like super seductive way next time you say it at home, though. Just be sitting around in the living room watching TV or something, and just look at your hubby and go, "I'm gonna go hang out with my basket of whips," or I'll be in the basket of whips. They'd be like, "What?" Well, yeah, no. Oh, look at here. I have I have two needles. Nee, nee, nee. Just stabbed myself with the one I didn't know was stuck in my fabric. And I think that that constant having 12 bazillion different works in progress going, at least from my perspective, that's a classic ADHD thing. I find that I either super hyper focus on one thing or I can't focus on anything for very long. So I tend to have a lot of projects going because more often than not, I quickly get bored. Oh, Sam, if you only knew. I will explain that one later. Oh, I totally yelled that. Sorry, guys. She is unaware. I will make her aware, but not on a live stream. But in reality, it's my channel, and you can say what you want as long as you're not being rude and disrespectful. Not one you need to super worry yourself about. There's just some backstory. Like I said, I'll fill you in later. It's funny. I keep looking up at my computer, just waiting to get a notification that I've run out of time on StreamYard. So I don't think I have very much. I think I only have like 3 hours left or something. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holy crap! That's my first yawn of the night. Of the morning. Sleepless nights at the third time. Hey, I own that. I just look at you and say, sorry, sorry. You have insomnia? Sorry. You have a caffeine addiction? Sorry. You have health issues? Sorry. You have a smart ass sense of humor? Not sorry. And I can't take any heat for the heart or the neurological stuff. That was not me. It just dawned on me. I didn't see MGT go live this weekend with any crafting either, unless I missed it. I don't always get her notifications. She's rocking out uh, her Halloween decorations, getting them made up. It's called oxygen deprivation. Sleep deprivation. She left the internet? Holy crap. Well, that's a bummer. Well, that could explain why I haven't seen her making Halloween decorations. That sucks. Do either of you guys know if she still has her, is she still doing IG, or she shut that down too? So I'd like to at least, wish her well. It's crazy. One of the people that I started following in the crime community, she keeps really weird hours too. She's got a stream scheduled for 6 a.m. my time. And I'm like, that's crazy. Who wakes up that early in the morning to do a live stream? But then again, it's 3:30 in the morning and I'm still sitting here doing a live stream because I haven't been to sleep yet. That's really a bummer. That makes me sad. I liked watching her craft. But I'll try to reach out to her on IG and see if she hits my back. As she came on to one of my streams a couple weeks ago. I don't even remember which one it was. Might it? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna guess. But I'm pretty sure it was one of the crafting ones. But oh, holy shit! I'm actually yawning. That's nice. Yeah, I mean, I can take a few guesses. Yes, the interwebs can be a horrid place. That is for certain. Well, as I said before, I don't understand why the standards of interpersonal communication are so much higher on the internet than they are person to person, face to face. Oh, her IG is gone too, huh? Man, that really sucks. Well, I don't know. That's the only two ways I knew how to get a hold of her. So I guess if she makes a reappearance, then I'll see her and talk to her then. But yeah, I don't understand that. Why the expectations are so much higher for people on a computer screen than somebody that's sitting across from us at a table. I will never. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever understand that. Again, coming from, a human sociology, psychology, it just is so ass backward to me. You get through a punch, especially if it's Thursday. Yeah, I think she would have got a kick out of MTT as well. Whew. Well, guys, I'm actually getting a pretty good case of the yawnies going on. I think I might be able to go to sleep. Maybe. I don't have it. So, I don't have any way to contact her. All right, guys. Well, it's been 2.5 hours. Thanks for kind of hanging out with me this evening. Like I said, I'm like now yawning like every couple seconds. I'm like, oh, I think my body's finally saying go to bed. At least I don't have a 4-year-old to like want me up in 3 hours to do God knows what. Watch Bluey, play this and play that, and jumping out, look at the sprinklers and talk about horses and the cows and the sparkles on the floor, and God knows what else comes to a 4-year-old mind. Well, and that's possible too. That she may be under the quote unquote sock account, just kind of watching and listening. Who knows? But I wish her well wherever she's at, and if anybody watches this on replay and does have contact with her, please tell her I'm thinking about her. All right, guys. So you guys have a good night. Hopefully, y'all get some sleep. I'm gonna go lay my head down and hopefully I actually fall asleep. You didn't see my Instagram post. It's like, yeah, I'm sleepy when I do this. I'm sleepy when I do this. But as soon as I lay down, try to go to sleep, I'm not sleepy. So we'll see what happens when I actually lay down. But in the meantime, we'll catch up with everybody tomorrow sometime. I have checked out of that community, so you will not be seeing me in chats, but you'll find me on my channel. So, talk to you guys later and have yourselves a good night. Bye.